I come in, sir?
Yes, come in.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Take your seat.
Thank you, sir.
Babita Rani Swai.
Yes, sir.
Tell us something about you, Babita.
Sir, I belong to Ganjam district in Odisha, and my father is a forester. So he's working in forest department, and I completed my BTech in computer science from IIIT Bhubaneswar in 2014. In the final year, I chose to go for civil services after a lot of self-evaluation.
So why civil services?
So civil services is because it gives diversity to one, and secondly, personally also I have seen the issues of underdevelopment, and the solving such issues have always interested me, and doing it such as a career will be much more fulfilling. So I thought that this is a suitable career for me.
Don't you think that if you join an NGO, you will be serving in a better way?
Sir, definitely NGO is also, if one joins NGO, there is scope for serving the people, but public service is such a thing that it gives not only gives scope to one department, there are various departments one can work, and also there is scope for personal growth to learn from because this is a field where one can work not only various departments but also various stakeholders like NGO, public sector, politicians also. So there is a lot of learning or scope of learning.
But don't you think it's a very demanding service? There's so much of corruption prevailing, eating into the bloods of the society. Do you still think that it's a good service to join?
Yes, sir. Because now if we only have to join and we only have to do away with the corruption, this is a responsibility of, I think.
How will you do away with the corruption? Suppose if you are posted as state of, say, Kalahandi district,
Sir,
or Ganjam district, to which you belong to, what will be your action plan to remove corruption?
so corruption in a department?
In the department, in the society, in the delivery system?
Sir, I would believe that the era is for digitalization. So I would go for computerization on records. Secondly, corruption, another reason for corruption is that there is lack of citizen empowerment. So if they are aware of the rights and they also know about if there is anything going wrong, where they should go, so I will try to make them aware so that they can hold the government departments accountable.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Suppose if you are posted in Kalahandi, because you belong to that place also, then what will be your priorities to deal with, to bring about improvement in the people of that area?
So in particularly Kalahandi, the literacy rate is low. Secondly, it is a tribal area and also resource rich area. So my priority would be to focus on tourism, because it's a tribal tribal dominated area. So there is handicrafts are also there, and second thing is agriculture. Though before it was not much important, but right now after the dam opened, so now the agriculture has very much potential. So I would focus on these two things, and secondly the basic infrastructures like all weather roads, drinking water, these things, sir.
Okay.
Babita, you are a computer science engineer,
Sir.
okay, and you have opted for public administration or civil services. Why?
Sir, when I saw this subject, I thought it was very important or relevant, because the administration and when I went through the syllabus, also it some kind of generated some interest in me that I should know about administration.
Which part of syllabus has attracted you most?
It is the the local self-government, the panchayat. Yes, sir.
Panchayati Raj system. Tell me something about Panchayati Raj system in Odisha.
In Odisha, sir?
Yes.
So, in what perspective I should be speaking?
Anything. Whatever you like.
Okay. So I would say that there are many scopes for development panchayat area, and whenever I lived, can I share my personal experience?
Yes, certainly.
Sir, my father is posted in a village now, so I have seen that the panchayat, though they are actually expected to do regular meetings, but that is not happening in that particular area. But then I searched that if there is something good model of panchayat raj, so I came to know that there is an MBA graduate and she is a sarpanch in that particular district. And now she is focusing on such developmental schemes like the water, women empowerment. So I believe there is two cases, stark cases, which I said that there is lack of regular meetings also, but there is also a case that there is women empowerment and there is a women sarpanch who is leading the panchayat.
Have you heard of Sarpanch Pati?
Uh,
Sarpanch Pati,
Yes, sir.
husbands of Sarpanch. Have you heard
Yes,
of
sir.
this term? What is this?
So it is right now there is a provision that the women have 33% reservation in that. So if the sarpanch is a woman, but the problem is that it is proxy led. So they are expected to do the work, but it is their husbands who are doing or managing the works. So that is called sarpanch.
Sarpanch Pati.
Yes, sir.
When is this International Women's Day celebrated?
March 8th, sir.
March 8th. What is feminism?
Feminism. Sir, what I understood about feminism is that having an equality in mind, the principle of equality. Generally, we think that some kind of work is only for women or women specific. But in case of feminism, I believe that they think about the women empowerment and equality in every field.
Have you heard about the emergence of new women?
New women, sir, can I guess because I'm not.
Yes, you are free to guess.
Sir, normally in society we think that women are weak and they are not suitable for leadership positions. But in case of new women, we are thinking women not just on the basis of gender, but on basis of their capability to lead an organization. So I think that is the definition of new women.
Can you define Odisha model of development? For last 15 years, Mr. Naveen Patnaik is calmly and silently, without making any noise, is building Odisha economy.
Sir,
What are the features of the changes in Odishan economy in last 15-20 years?
Sir, I'm not aware of the 15 years of development, but if you allow me that I can say that what are the schemes right now they are talking about. So right now the focus is on industrialization. They are coming up with Make in Odisha, and also they are reforming all the labor laws, and also they are coming with all the parameters of ease of doing business. And the focus is also on software industry, because in past years the focus when it comes to industrialization was on power, steel and iron industries. But the problem was that mining sector is also facing the resistance. So there is a change in focus that we are focusing on software development as well right now.
Which are the major tourist centers in Odisha which attracts even foreign tourists?
So in terms of if you go for architecture and historical monuments, there is Puri Jagannath temple, and then also Konark is there. But ecotourism is also very famous in Odisha. In Ganjam there is Chilka Lake. In Kandhamal there is Daringibadi, which is known as the Kashmir of Odisha. So there is not only just monuments and but there is also scope for ecotourism.
Do you know poverty gap ratio? Poverty gap ratio.
Sir, I'm not aware of this term.
Okay. How many kinds of poverty we normally see and try to visualize the problem, in which different forms?
Sir, access to various types of resources, for example, education or health, or also employment opportunities. The basic things like food. I believe this.
In spite of very long history of poverty in Odisha, particularly in Western Odisha,
Sir,
in the expression Bimaru,
sir.
Odisha is not included traditionally. Bihar is included, Madhya Pradesh is included, Rajasthan is included, UP is included, and not Odisha. Can you explain why? Though it is having very high level of poverty.
Yes, sir. There is high level of poverty, but I do not know the specific reason for that. But I believe that there is scope of development in Odisha. For example, it is also regarded as the potential for second green revolution because of its amount of rainfall and the soil fertility. But in other cases, for example, Rajasthan, there is not much scope for agriculture as well. So I think that.
Why did you choose Ahmedabad as your center of examination?
Sir, because I went to Gujarat for pursuing a course in governance. So I spent around 6 months on the course. So that's why I kept Ahmedabad.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah, Babita, every year a considerable number of bureaucrats are making entry into the services.
Sir.
That too with a vow that I will change the system, touch upon the lives of many people, bring about meaningful changes, blah blah. Still things are not moving in the right direction. What is that? What is that which prevent a enthusiast from from making changes in the system? He becomes a part of the system and things are not moving as per expectation. What is that? What you see?
So I believe that, as you said, enthusiasm is definitely required, but at the same time, one requires the enabling environment also. For example, there should be a willing political leadership, and then also that citizens should be aware, and then also they should be participating in the governance. Secondly, the work culture. So if the work culture is rewarding, that means if you're honest and you're performing well, and it is also rewarding you, then your enthusiasm can be much more effective in that case. But I believe that if the work culture is not that effective also, but if one is enthusiastic, then at least in small level, one can do the initiatives.
Okay. One of the priorities of yours when entering into the service will be fighting corruption.
So,
You realize that corruption is there. It is
Yes,
deep
sir.
rooted. Out of 24 services, which service you personally consider is the most corrupt?
sir, I don't know.
Achha, you have not idea. Okay, fine. Now tell me, there is a contrast between your choice of Indian Revenue Service Customs and Excise Group A and IT Group A. IT comes at serial number 2 and Customs Excise comes at serial number 15. Why?
So the reason is that when I was opting for the service, I took some advice from my seniors and officials, and I got good remarks for IRS IT. But I could not gather much information about.
That was not your decision. That was guided by your seniors.
Yes, sir, about their experience.
Okay, fine. Tell me, Odia is a classical language.
So,
What is so classical about that language?
so there are two criteria for it. One is its antiquities of the texts which are there, and the text is not borrowed from other languages, rather it is a very original thing. Second is that the amount of texts which are there, these texts are cherished by the people who speak Odia. So these are the two criteria for giving any language classical.
Odia is also classified in Schedule 8.
Yes, sir.
What advantage does the language get in case it is included in Schedule 8 of Indian Constitution?
So can I guess one?
Yeah, please.
I believe that one can give an exam in that language, if I am not wrong, if it is scheduled in that.
Babita, you have done computer engineering, so tell me what do you understand by distributed computing?
Sir, distributed computing means there is one computer and the resources are definitely less. So if the processing is distributed among a number of computers, so the processing power will also be less and the efficiency will increase. The speed will also increase.
And does cloud computing follow that principle?
Yes, to a large extent. Because in cloud computing what happens is
Or is it a centralized system, cloud computing?
It's not a centralized system, I guess, because the sources will be in somewhere computer in the server and other computers can access to that.
Okay. Do you know about cloud computing architecture? Any idea?
No, sir.
Like what are the architecture used for cloud computing?
So architecture in the terms of
like service as a software as a service, this kind of
no,
things?
sir.
No.
I'm not aware of it.
Okay. So these days there is a lot of talk about artificial intelligence.
Sir.
So tell me if there is a lot of reliance on artificial intelligence, does it pose a threat to employment opportunities? And for a country like India, where there are millions of unemployed youth.
Sir.
So how do you see the problem?
Sir, as you said that it might in the short term, it might hamper the employment. But in the same time, as it is a new technology, definitely it has scope for bringing in more employment opportunities. So the challenge lies in skilling people and reskilling the existing employees.
And what is an algorithm?
So algorithm is a program or it gives the instruction to how to execute.
So when you become a bureaucrat, will you be following an algorithm how to serve people?
Algorithm, Sir, I believe, sir, it cannot be like because administration is definitely situation based, and algorithm is very much fixed, I believe. So I think it would be definitely law will be there and rules will be there which will act as algorithm. But again,
some
it
flexibility
is,
will be
yes, sir.
required. Okay, you have taken public administration as the optional. So, can you define good governance?
Sir, good governance is something I believe usually we confuse between government and governance. A government is an institution, governance is something to solve the problems of people. So, good governance is that we effectively focus on solving issues or problem, but at the same time we follow the
Are
principle.
there any criteria of
Yes, sir,
good
there are many
governance?
criteria. Like there is accountability. People should be, or the government should be held accountable so that corruption is not there. Then citizens are participating in this because
Do you
governance.
think that there should be some tolerance for corruption? Like zero tolerance for corruption is a utopian idea.
Yes, sir. So I do not believe that because corruption, if it's small level, also is very big threat. So I do not believe that corruption should be
So
tolerated.
there should be zero tolerance for corruption.
Definitely, sir.
So if you are working under a superior officer and you come to know that that person is corrupt, so what you will do?
My senior, sir.
Yeah, your senior is corrupt.
So definitely the recourse will be to complain it if there is any other, like CVC will be there, CBI will be there, and the last would be whistleblowing, but it would be last resort.
Okay, fine. Recently, Supreme Court has given some judgment on national anthem, that people need to stand up while national anthem is being broadcast, like while in cinema halls and other public places. So, what is your idea? Is Supreme Court right in giving such a directive?
If I'm not wrong, it goes overreach, like judicial overreach is there being done because it is like executive domain, because there are laws like national flag, we have to cherish that. So it should be come from the executive, such law.
But okay, like let's say the government decides that everybody has to stand up when the national anthem is playing, and be it any situation, be it a movie hall. So, do you think it is right on the part of government to dictate that when people should stand up or when people should sit down?
So I believe this is about respecting the national anthem. So I think if we are imposing such things, it would not come. So I believe that we should rather promote the things to come from ourselves or from the people, from the inner side of them.
Okay, now there is a case going on between Odisha and West Bengal regarding this GI tag
Okay.
of Rasgulla. So, which state has the right claim over that sweet?
So legally it is West Bengal now.
Odisha doesn't have any claim, but they
So
are
it is
they are
having
applying
a
for
claim,
it.
but they given GI tag to West Bengal.
And Odisha is not doing anything about it.
Right now they are again reclaiming that they are providing some documents that it has originated in the Puri temple. So they are reclaiming it. So
Do you think this controversy is worth it?
I believe
Whether Rasgulla was originated in Bengal or Odisha, what does it matter?
sir, for a ordinary person, it doesn't matter. But when it comes to the community who is working in that, definitely it matters.
Okay, thank you, Babita.